Hi there, I'm Hal Stewart from the Sheff United Way. Sheffield United sit bottom of the table, 0 wins, 2 draws and 12 defeats so far this season. What has gone wrong this season compared to last? It's very easy to say that we've been found out. We haven't been found out at all because we're not playing the same way as we did last season. And the reason for that is, well, one thing is the momentum was lost during the break, during the pandemic first lockdown. And then the fans not being there, that's had a huge impact. I think it's quite clear that Sheffield United have the best fans in the world. We make such an impact on our team. But the main one is losing Jack O'Connell. He is our Virgil van Dijk, if you like. He is the left-sided centre-back where a lot of our attacks stem from. As you know, Sheffield United play with overlapping centre-backs, but that doesn't work if you've only got it overlapping on the right-hand side with Chris Basham. No one has been able to step in. We've tried 6 different players to replace Jack O'Connell. Looks like he's out for the whole season. And no one has been able to fill the void. What's your thoughts on Chris Wilder as manager and him this season? Many clubs probably would have sacked their manager by now with the results Sheffield United have picked up. Yeah, but one thing I like to think of is Sheffield United, we are the team of the city. We're very similar to Everton. We've got a lot in common. Everton fans know their football, Blades know their football, and I think you can relate because Chris Wilder is a Blade. He not only played for the club, he supports the club, and now, of course, he's manager of the club. He's had, 20 plus seasons as a manager and never regressed once, never gone backwards once. This is his first season where it looks like he's going to finish in a lower position. I think everyone is allowed one bad season. This is his first one. It would be ridiculous to sack him. And also, if we did sack him, and let's say Chris Wilder had never been our manager, you'd want Chris Wilder as your manager, because he's got a CV of getting clubs promoted. So if worst comes to worst and we go down, we'd want someone who's proven to get teams back up. And that's Chris Wilder or Neil Warnock. We've been there already. What have you made of the bizarre outbursts from Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp on Chris Wilder regarding the number of subs that should be allowed? So the way that we look at subs as Blades is, first of all, we back Chris Wilder because he's Chris Wilder. But the rules at the start of the season were 3 subs. If the rules were 5 subs, then it's 5 subs. I think for the integrity of any league, you just keep it the same. Whatever the rule is, you just keep it the same. We shouldn't have changed it last season. I think it's stupid it changed in the Championship. You just keep it, and it's 3. Dean Henderson is one of the best English goalkeepers, if not the best English goalkeeper. Sorry, Jordan. I think Henderson will prove himself to be England's number 1 in years to come. I think it was a strange decision for Dean Henderson to basically sit on the bench during a tournament year, but that was his call, and we had to move on. And we've got Aaron Ramsdale back. He was our own youth player that we sold on Chris Wilder's wedding day, actually. But we bought him back for a big fee, and I think he's an excellent goalkeeper who makes the saves you expect him to make. Admittedly, he's had a couple of errors, but so did Dean Henderson, even against us for Manchester United. Thoughts on Everton so far this season? I like Everton. I don't think there's any 2 clubs that have had the same. So many players have gone back and forth between Sheffield United and Everton. Just off the top of my head, Mitch Wood, Carl Tyler, Don Hutchison, Graham Stewart, Earl Barrett, Terry Phelan, Daddy Canamatri, James Beattie, loads and loads of players that we have seen, John Ebrell, that we have seen play for both clubs, Paul Gerrard, Steve Simonson, so Gary Naismith. I think it's just the 2 clubs are very much aligned in terms of fans, the way that they think. Everton have had a lot more success and are a mainstay of the Premier League. I like Mason Holgate. I like to think he could do a job in a holding midfield role. Under Ferguson, he did very well there. I love James Rodriguez. Just a good squad that I've always thought should be in or around the mix for Europe. And Cudley Carlo, excellent manager. I hope Everton do really, really well this season. I think they've started well, had a little dip, and I think they'll be back. Best player of the season for Sheffield United so far? The best player of the season for Sheffield United this season and every other season is Chris Basham. Basham Bauer. The man is incredible. He can do everything. Sheffield United's goal for the season and predicted finish. Sheffield United's goals for the season, it's the same as at the start of the season. Stay up. It's not going to change. So stay up. If we get the same amount of results as we did last season, so with the fixtures we've still got left, if we pick up the same results against those teams as we did last season, we finish with 40 points, which is this season going to be well clear of relegation. So we've still got to have hope, even though it's the worst start to any league season since football began. Predicted finish, Head says we'll finish bottom, Heart says we'll finish 17th, and that's very wishful thinking because we just haven't looked like scoring regularly in games, and you need to win football matches when you always concede. Sheffield United's likely lineup. I mean, you could ask Chris Wilder that question and get 5 different answers. It hasn't been the same all season. That's one of the main problems. We knew our lineup last season, game in, game out. Ramsdale in goal, George Baldock at right wing back, Ender Stevens at left wing back, Basham and Egan at centre back. Left-sided centre back is very much put a number in a hat, but probably Jack Robinson, who I don't really rate. In midfield, I might go with what I'd like to see now that Sander Berge is out, which is a massive blow. I would personally like to see John Fleck on the left, Ollie Norwood in the middle, and that's the tricky bit then. Probably Ben Osborne, even though he's left-footed. Wilde doesn't like playing 2 left-footers, but Ben Osborne's amazing. That's what I'd like to see. What will probably happen is Ampadu will play in that midfield position rather than Osborne. Then you've got up front, I think he'll go with David McGoldrick and Ollie Burke for pace, but could be Rhian Brewster, who really, really needs a goal. Danger men for Sheffield United. Who do Everton need to look out for? Gosh, I mean, last season, danger men, Lys Mousset, who scored against you when we won at Goodison Park, were a completely different side to that time. Danger men, it would have been Sander Berge, would have been John Lundstrom. Gosh, it's really tough. Probably David McGoldrick. He couldn't score last season, apart from 2 right at the end. This season, our top scorer, so I have to go with him. Sound like a broken man. Final question. Best, worst, or strangest time you've met a celebrity or footballer? I've met so many. Okay, I've met a lot of footballers because in my actual job, one of the things I do is interview footballers. I met Dean Sturridge in Birmingham at New Street train station when he was a player for Wolves, I think. And I told him I wanted him to sign for Sheffield United, that he'd be appreciated at Bramall Lane, the fans would love him. And it's probably a massive coincidence, but he signed for the Blades about a week later. He was absolutely bobbins for us, but that's one that I remember. And met Connor Washington's wife as well, who was training with the same personal trainer I know. And I said to her that I'd like her husband to sign for Sheffield United, and he signed even quicker after that. Again, he was rubbish as well.